Okay, we're here, RandomNet, the final round, the final game. This is the fourth round, game 2, versus myself, Jonny, on the left, playing Quetzal, versus Kilby on the right, playing Tennin Institute. So, just in case you missed it, this is a game from the RandomNet tournament held at Phoenix Games in Stourbridge. A tournament where everyone that attends is assigned a random Corp and Runner and then tasked with the challenge of building something that's not quite so mainstream, that is more interested in the more janky or sort of less used cards. So we've seen both these decks in action before. I am running a breakerless Quetzal, and Kilby is playing what seems like arguably pretty standard Tennin stuff. I've not seen anything particularly odd, but Tennin is a bit of a weird one anyway, so seems to work around. Anyway, we're keeping our hands and into the game. Hedge fund from Kilby to start seems alright. Iced up R&D and taking a credit. So some servers are open to me if I wish to check them. Second, I'm going to run archives and install Hades Shard instead of accessing, and then installing KT and clicking KT. So you always have to think against check if they leave HQ open, that probably means they've got some horrible, nasty cards in their hand. So yeah, Motion Notion from Kilby. So I guess that's sort of the main hook of his deck. Basically just motion out as many advanceable cards as he can. And maybe some of them are agendas, but probably most of them are traps. So yeah, not too bad start. This I obviously do use keyholes, so if I'm able to use Hades Shard, it does mean even if he ices up archives, if I bin enough agendas, it's all good. So yeah, just tempting R&D. I like to know what R&D is because I'm very much interested in R&D. And we're seeing a fetal, so yeah, I'm paying 2 and suffering 2 net damage. Less than ideal, and oh, he hits my surfer. The first time I've seen it all day, and yeah, we have a good laugh. But yeah, the only recursion I have is deja vu. So if it comes to it, I am running 2 copies of surfer, so maybe we'll come up later. Yeah, so just drawing back up just to sort of defend my hand. But yeah, so not too bad. I've got some economy set up in KT, but a nice 2-point score. Yeah, and the offshore corporation upgrade going on the Mushin, which surely must mean it's a trap. It's a means of protecting his source of income. Yeah, we're not interested. I think I'll either let you have that agenda or let the trap sit there. I think Kilby. Oh, we'll see it actually. I don't want to spoil the surprise. Yeah, so drawing up. So I draw a lot. Drawing, as I said, the combo pieces. I've got some same old things, so 3 same old things, and for final clicking up KT. So 3 times I've used KT, so there's 9 credits sitting on KT there. Voter intimidation isn't legal, so there's no way, thanks to the agenda in my score area, he could zap the KT. So he's taking money offshore, and back channels, so to get some return off your failed trap. So I believe that's 9 credits going in, so Kilby's flush with cash now and could pretty much install any kind of ice or fire any trap he wants, whether that be snares or whatever. Okay, so yeah, so pretty good start. As I said, my deck isn't particularly that aggressive until it gets set up, so okay, so just considering my options here. A keyhole would be pretty sweet. So taking off KT, so I obviously must have plans to install a bunch of cards. That's a click for 9, seems alright. Drawing. Oh dear, and some commotion from the other tables. very much good, I have to say. And now that he's back channeled, it's I'm running to deny the advancement token and also get rid of the source of income. Although he's got so much money, it's not going to matter. And final click liberated. And using my fancy RandomNet die. So drawing. I guess finally finding some ice and icing up HQ. So we can almost certainly see. Okay, so shock Batty, thanks to Kilby, future perfect snare and fetal AI. So the win is in his hand for me, but I'm more likely to hit those horrible nasty cards than I am to hit the goodies. So moneying up, and same old thing. It's nice to see, and take some money. So looks like I've got a good base for economy set. So we just need to keep drawing to find E3. Logos would be quite good. Ideally, yeah, keyhole and knifed, and then I can start going to town. Wow, clicks 1, 2, and 3. Let's go shell game. They could be anything, and that seems a little risky. So I think I might let it go. I've just drawn into Logos, so if one of those is a score, then that would be pretty sweet. So I think I'm taking some money off Liberated, and I think we're going to go last click, install the Logos. So when the Corp scores an agenda, I can go search for cards. It's very good for finding my pieces. I've got a single paintbrush because of the influence, only 2 surfers, only 2 keyholes, so it'll help me get the cards I want. Well, I'm not sure this is much of a scoring deck from Kilby. I think it's more of a playing the traps and trying to catch the runner out. So not interested in scoring any of those out, but he does get a free advancement, which he puts on the card the closest face down to the camera. Jackson, so maybe he just wants to tidy up his hand. He does have, last time we saw, Fetal and Future Perfect, so there's a chance that we've got probably a Fetal on the board, right? Because that's a very spiky agenda you happily want the runner to see. Obviously, Fetal and Future Perfect cry a little when film critics in play, but we don't play a try-hard, serious card like that here at RandomNet. Don't be silly. Looks like I've got amped up as well. Logos also helps with the hand size, gives me an extra one, and also an extra MU, which is because keyhole and paintbrush, it can get pretty wide. So yeah, another advancement token, and Tennin means you can put it on a card that doesn't have to have the disclaimer or the qualifier. That can be advanced, so it can literally be any install card, and I believe that is not unique or restricted to Corp cards. You can choose to advance like a runner's console, just not their ID, because that is technically not installed. And some more remotes, so yeah, so we're shoring up HQ and 2 more remotes. So again, just playing the money now while I wait to draw into my tools. Medium's not bad. I think we would prefer the keyhole. And there's my third same old thing. Third, we're going to run Jackson. Again, denying him the free counter, but just seeing if he's going to pop it. So it's only just got 1 face down. So I think he's going to go for Mushin, back channels, and the 1 face down, which probably was the Future Perfect. I want to wager. We can't be sure. Yeah, and because I've only got one promo, Katie Jones, I'm discarding the Katie and just swapping it over because we like the fancy alt art promos here. Okay, so yeah, happy for him to use the Jackson. It does mean that he has 1 less to use after I start ideally keyholing all his valuable cards. and yeah, he's scoring the House of Knives, and then Logos will trigger for me, which is good. So what am I getting? We hopefully should be able to see here. I'm thinking maybe the keyhole. Oh no, I'm getting the E3 feedback implants. Obviously, that combos perfectly with Quetzal's ID abilities. So her ID ability, if you remember, break one barrier subroutine, and then with E3, I can then pay money to break any subsequent ones. The ultimate game plan being that I basically knife barriers, or I use paintbrush to make them barriers, and then I can break in. So I've got the E3 there, so that's one piece of the puzzle. Obviously, we want the knifed. Yeah, so just confirming which remote it was. So I'm not generally a big fan of the sort of 2 rows remotes, but sometimes if you got a horizontal deck, it can't be avoided really. Just res something, and then you can stack your pad campaigns or your mental health clinics or whatever. Alright, so now that I've got E3, I'm surely going to install it and chance R&D. So there you go, E3. Oh, and 2 going to draw. Yeah, so 3. I'm going to just test R&D, see what we've got. And it's a no res, which we're happy at. And it's a cerebral overwriter. Right. Okay. So now we know what's going on. So pretty much Kilby strikes as someone that would only ever Mushin traps. So we're probably looking at 2 cerebral at least. We have seen the snare before and the shock, so there's lots of nasty stuff. Very much so. Install over R&D, but leaving archives open, so if I want to run there to deny the advancement tokens. Oh, and Speak of the Devil is there. Obviously it'll come to a point where Kilby would want to like overdraw to dump the shocks. Or maybe that was the card that he shuffled back in, because it also is pretty good R&D protection. Alright. So I think so even with the new piece of ice, we're going to run the ID. He's got the swordsman there, so no breakers, so I'm just going to suffer the net damage. That's fine. Oh, and we trigger the I've worse. Continue, and if that's a Kamainu, then I'm very sad with my 9 card hand. It's another swordsman. Okay, so I think Kilby very much expected possible Faust or whatever. So yeah, so a net damage from the swordsman and another net damage from the House of Knives. So lost the Deja Vu and another card. We'll go for an access, and that is a Kamainu, I believe. So as expected, he is running that. It's a pretty sweet card. Especially my extra hand size will only just make that Kamainu a little better. Obviously if I can paint it, but first I've got to res it. So installing the same thing, so I've got my full set, and very pretty they are. And yeah, it looks like I've got a knived in hand there, and I think I've got a Logos there, and I've just drawn into no Liberate. So again, seeing all the money, but not quite the so a keyhole now. Now that I know what's the swordsman there, I can start going to town. But he's dropping more ice in front of R&D, possibly suspecting that R&D is my main line of attack. The swordsman's, it's an inconvenience, the net damage, but that's fine. We obviously have to be careful of our hand size. We don't want to drop into snare range. Obviously hitting the fetal is pretty sad as well. We also have to watch out for our multi-access. We probably don't want to access too many cards from. So yeah, drawing. That looks like another E3. Not what we want. So probably drawing again, right? And I think that's another knifed, which is nice to have, but I need that paintbrush in order to start playing them. So yeah, free, just installing, grabbing the money. So I've got a medium in hand, but that's no good. Looks like I've got run amok as well. I've had worse. So I've got all my sort of trick cards that I want to play, but just want to see a keyhole or with a paintbrush probably, and then I can start knifing R&D and start applying some real pressure. Kilby's obviously in no great rush to score, so yes, getting rid of the E3 even with 6 cards. And free advancements, and looks like we're going for a score. So that's a fetal, yep, and that puts Kilby onto free. And now I'm grabbing another card. It's got to be the paintbrush. I've moved it to the front. I'm just considering my other options, maybe keyhole, but I think it's got to be paintbrush because I can start painting those swordsmans, and then knifing. Yeah. So, and to be fair, there isn't much on my deck left, so it's a little sad that I'm drawn into it. But Logos is in there to help find these. My puzzle pieces, if you like, for my breakerless rig. So it's there now. So we'll probably look to, with a knife, to install paintbrush, paint the swordsman, and then knifed. I'm not sure how much ice Kilby is running his deck. It is Tennin, so I guess they generally run more than the average Corp, but already, yeah, fair bit of ice already seen. So we've got a bit of money. So I wonder if we just Katie first. We've got 3 same old things, so we can start to have some really good turns here. Ah yes, I'm just missed my daily cast money. So yeah, so I'm looking on 13 credits, another 12 on Katie. Liberated as well. Paintbrush is free to install. Yeah, I'm not sure why I'm asking how many cards are in hand. Possibly just it's been some time now, so you've got to feel like the agendas are building up somewhere. And a quick glance at HQ. The ice protecting it at least. Okay, so considering our options, but I think a good. And I'm looking at possibly got a deja vu in hand. No, I think it's got to be paintbrush, paint, knife. Yeah, so here we go. Oh no, we're running a mock HQ, so so no res is there. He obviously doesn't want to lose the ice, so we'll have a quick look. And we've accessed the future perfect. So now playing a side game. We've both got a bunch of money, so and I've grown accustomed to bidding 1, but 0's not bad. And yeah, I did bid 1. Should have bid 0. And Kilby just saying, yeah, he was about to go 1. So that's fine. So it's good to know that the future perfect's there. Drawn into the keyhole. So okay, we might have something interesting going on here. Free keyhole. I think. And then we don't want to quite show the paintbrush yet, but a last click install of paintbrush is a bit weak because he might. Well, even with the keyhole, he obviously sees where probably my next line of attack is. So will we see another piece of ice going on R&D? Yeah, I'm not too sure I'm a big fan of that, but Kilby seems fine. And that's install advance. So probably looking at an agenda there, right? He paid real money for that. So I've got my last 2 off the daily casts. Obviously 15 credits on Katie. Not sure why I'm drawing. I think I need to execute the paintbrush plan. Not sure I like this. I mean, I grabbed the paintbrush and I've sat on it for several turns. And just going money. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm being a bit too conservative here. I think I really should be pushing. And Katie again, so for 18 and mediums. I think I've got 2 mediums in hand. Yeah, not a big fan of that. Obviously, free advancement for Kilby. I did not run. And install that straight off the bat. So Logos. And what am I getting now? I pretty much have everything. And I think I'm just grabbing Eater, which is interesting. As I said, I've got Eater as a sort of backup breaker just so I can face check things. So yeah, perhaps I'm worried about. I'm probably worried about the Kamainu on the front of R&D. I think there's a pretty scary prospect because I have no means of breaking it. I'd have to hit it, lose my hand, and then I have to spend a lot of time drawing back up. So yeah, maybe I'm being a bit cautious, hoping to see the Eater. No. Yeah, so 4 points to Kilby. I only have 2. So surely now we're going to go. So KT, we get 18 credits off KT first click. That's probably about as much credits as you want on KT without losing it to being tagged. 2, we got to go paintbrush, right? I'm just talking snatch and grab tactics. I don't think Kilby's running it, but it's a pretty sweet card against those connections. Okay, so Eater, alright. So maybe I'm just going for a regular keyhole play here. Yeah, we are going. So, yeah, I'm not too sure about this, because this is... I've realised my mistake here, because obviously Swordsman's going to destroy the Eater. Yeah, so I'm asking very nicely if Kilby minds if I take that back. He graciously complies. He agrees. So thank you, Kilby. That was a bit of stupid play, just stalling the Eater, face planting into the Swordsman. So yeah, so I think this is where we drop the paintbrush. So that is click 3. So unfortunately, I can't paint and run. So. Okay, and I think I just drew into Surfer. But now I have the issue where I do not have enough space. So the Eater's going to have to probably stick around for a little while before I can drop the Surfer in. As I said, Eater is the emergency breaker, but this deck is a bit weird. Another back challenge from Kilby for all the money. We're both wealthy, and that's an upgrade into R&D, so what are we thinking there? That's probably the Batty that Kilby flashed us there, but we're not sure what we're thinking. Again, that might be a Hokusai Grid. That'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, or a Caprice, knowing that I am clearly hell-bent on attacking R&D, and it's going to happen now. Yeah. And Kilby's worried about... I think we put a limit on... 1 Faust, 1 Museum. We effectively made it a limit 1 per deck, just because those decks are everywhere, those cards are everywhere. But yeah, so we're going to paint the outermost Swordsman, and then we must go and knife something. So we pay 1 to knife R&D. So if it happens that face down, ice is a barrier, then all good. So is he going to res? Obviously this is what we got the Eater for. Unless it is a third. Asks how many cards in hand? Is it Kamainu? He elects not to. So now that Swordsman is a barrier, I'll break with Quetzal and then pay with E3 to knife the Swordsman and then jack out. And then go again, right? 3 paints and 4 go again. I think I've got another knifed in hand. So just destroying R&D here. Yeah. Oh, so I think we decide just to hold fire. Deja Vu, that's obviously good for recurring the knife and potentially any programs that I lose. I suppose just click on Katie here. That seems pretty standard sort of click 4 option. Yep. See, I know old me pretty well, it seems. So obviously Kilby can see that. Yep, I'm coming for R&D, so he's straight away installing new ice on R&D, and that means I have to face check before I can successfully paint them a barrier and then break. So it's a bit of a long-winded process, but E2 will at least mean that I can. So we're going to paint the inner swordsman, and then we're probably going to go knife some stuff, right? Yeah, so money off the casts. Knife R&D. And I quite like how this sort of strategy is very, very disruptive. And it's the Batty. Oh, and the Vikram. What? Vikram? I mean... Okay, so first off, we're going to play Batty before I'm able to break the Vikram. I can always click through, or I can click an E3 through, and I stick with 1, and I beat the Batty side game. Yes, that's really good. I'm pretty chuffed with myself there. So it's click to run. There are 3 subs, so if I spend a click... okay, I could have saved myself a click there. Obviously click, and then that triggers E3. And yeah, I think I'll just let in there. Yeah, so I missed a trick there. I could have E3'd that. And yeah, there is the Kamainu. And I've got 5 in hand, so going to break 5 of the Eater. Quetzal and E3 to break the swordsman, and then I can actually have an access. Oh yes, of course. Yes, I can't access because I've used Eater. Yeah, so we'll complete the run to trigger a successful run to deny an advancement counter. And poof, that was a busy turn, but now we've got 2 available bits of ice. So I can paint them a barrier. I have the same old thing to knife him. Kilby just takes money. It's interesting. I guess he has nothing in hand he wants to play. How are we doing for time? 10 minutes. Okay. Okay, so surely we're going to do some more painting. So paint the Vikram. Right. Paint the Vikram. Yeah, so just going to check the archives here. Just get an idea, I guess, of the influence spend. Obviously, Vikram's an interesting splash. Cerebral Overwriter as well, so all about those HB cards. Oh, and I think we just saw a glance of another Cerebral in hand. Yeah, so we've seen 2 swordsmen. I'm asking myself if there's potential for a 3rd. I think there is only 2. So painting the Vikram with a barrier, of course, and then surely a same old thing. Same old knife R&D, pain 1. Yep, so that gets rid of the Vikram. I think I'm just going to check out, right? Yeah, there's no point throwing 4 or 5 credits at that. And yeah, just taking Katie. So we're just going to repeat this process until we can start successfully keyholing. And there are some House of Knives counters, which I think Kilby possibly has forgotten about, but we'll see them there. Yeah, so Mushin. Okay, so there's two random cards, and he picked one. To Mushin Ocean, even he doesn't know what it is. Ultimate mind games, and in that case, it's just not worth the risk, right? There's a chance that both cards are bad. I think we have to stay on the game plan. So painting the Kamainu and knifing it. Because with that out of the way, I can start doing some keyholes. Remembering I have the Hades shard. I don't have to deal with that piece of ice. Yeah, so I'm just muttering to myself. I have just about enough, but I can always grab some more money with from Liberated or Katie. So, yeah, board's looking quite good. Obviously, the deck does like to surf. So painting, adding barrier, and then same old knifing. Quetzal and pay 4 to eat the Kaminos, and then go for a natural successful run. And that's Tori Hanzo, which I think is 2 to trash, and I do not have enough money. But that does mean I could go for a free keyhole. Oh, I've been a bit bold. That was hella risky as the last click, but I ran it and scored the House of Knives. So that is 4 points to 3. But now with an open R&D, it's starting to look mighty tasty. Drawing, possibly trying to dig for some ice. Has he found any? No! Oh! Oh, that's just... I'm putting an upgrade over HQ, so got a feeling his hand is pretty well loaded. So that might be another batty. Yes, that Jackson's been used, just to confirm. So yeah, I have 4 clicks and an open R&D, but I'm taking a bit of money. That's interesting. Possibly I want to install a medium as well. Not sure why I'm running archives. I think I've forgotten myself that I have the Hades shard. Ooh, and there is a Future Perfect in there. Okay, so he's not interested in the ice. We might have a Himatsu Bako on there, perhaps. So, yeah. So he bids 2, I bid 0. He keeps the Future Perfect. But it's good to know that that is in there. And free keyhole. I'm not sure why I didn't keyhole free, like 3 or 4 times here. So it looks like I got a fetal. Yep. So I'm at 3 points. So the win is in the bin there. This is where I might come to res the archives ice and keep me out. So 4 will keyhole again. Ooh, and that is a Philotic. So there's 4 points in the bin.
That is 4 points that I cannot replace right now.
Yeah, just point out that is 4 points. That is the 4 points I require. So just having to think here. And I just touched the Hades shard, and remember. So pop the Hades shard and win. Yeah, so don't even have to worry about the side game. Obviously there were some shocks in there, but we could have survived it, or chose to access the agendas first. So yeah, that's a win for Quetzal. We split, and Quetzal was unbeaten for me on the day, which is pretty darn cool. Obviously my harp deck wasn't quite as good, only went 2-2, but that did mean that was the first game that Kilby dropped all day, and that meant that it was good enough for him to maintain first, and I ended up second, just a game behind. But I like to think, because I actually played and won more games on the day, that the victory is mine. But no, the end of another awesome RandomNet tournament. I cannot recommend it enough. It's just a good opportunity to be a little creative. It's less pressure, very friendly environment. And yeah, just play some of those cards that you forgot all about. It's good stuff. So yeah, so look out for the next one. All right, take care.